discussed about the civil disobedience movement and the causes for the civil disobedience movement. There are two causes for the civil disobedience movement. They are the Simon Commission and the second one, the demand for the Purna Swaraj. Today we are going to discuss about the launch of civil disobedience movement. You may please take page number 157. The launch of civil disobedience movement 1913. In the month of February, the Congress Working Committee, they gave full power and permission to Gandhiji to start or launch the civil disobedience movement and about the place and the time to start the civil disobedience movement. So on 2nd March, Gandhiji wrote a long letter to then Viceroy Lord Irwin about starting or launching of the civil disobedience movement. And 12th March, he started a march from his ashramam, that is Sabarmati, to Dandi. And his 78 followers from Sabarmati ashramam followed him and they reached there in Dandi, a sea coast area in Gujarat. And what was the purpose of this march? The purpose of this march was to violate the salt law. And Gandhiji selected the salt law for the civil disobedience movement or to launch the civil disobedience movement. The reason is that the salt law affected the tax on the salt. The tax on salt affected all the sections of the society, especially the poor people. You know, that time the Indian companies or the Indians were not allowed to make or manufacture the salt, and only the British or the European companies got the permission to make the salt. And for the salt which made by the European companies or the British companies, they put a great tax. It affected all the sections of the society because salt was something inevitable in the life of Indians and it affected all the sections of the society. That is why Gandhiji selected salt law in order to launch the civil disobedience movement. By the time Gandhiji reached Delhi, he had the whole nation aroused and expectant, waiting for the final signal. Final signal for what? To launch the civil disobedience movement and to violate the salt law. All the nation aroused and expectant, and they were waiting for the signal to start the civil disobedience movement. On 6th April 1930, Gandhiji inaugurated the civil disobedience movement by picking a handful of salt and by manufacturing salt by boiling the sea water. Earlier, I told you that Indians were not allowed to make the salt. But here, Gandhiji violated disobedience to the law. The law by the government is that the Indians were not allowed to make the salt and there was a huge tax on salt. But here, he violated the salt law and thus he inaugurated or he launched the civil disobedience movement. I hope that you understood about the Dandi March and the importance of the Dandi March. And it is through the Dandi March and by violating the salt law, Gandhiji launched the civil disobedience movement. Now we will see about the Gandhi-Irwin Pact, which is in page number 1959. The Gandhi-Irwin Pact. The Gandhi-Irwin Pact was signed on 5th March 1931. And under this Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Lord Irwin agreed certain demands from Indians. First one, to release all the satyagrahis who remained non-violent throughout the movement. The movement means throughout the civil disobedience movement. And the second one, to retain the confiscated. The second point is that to retain the confiscated properties of the satyagrahis. And the third one, to permit peaceful picketing of liquor and foreign shops. And the fourth one, to allow people living near the coastal areas to manufacture salt. Fifth one, to withdraw all the ordinance issued by the government during the civil disobedience movement. So these 5 points were agreed by Lord Irwin, and now we will see the things that Gandhiji agreed. First one, to attend the second round table conference. Previously we had seen that the first round table conference, the Congress, they didn't attend, but here Gandhiji agreed to attend the second round table conference. And the second point which Gandhiji agreed was to withdraw the civil disobedience movement, to suspend the civil disobedience movement. Now we will see the second round table conference. Second round table conference, 7th September to 1st December 1931, was attended by Gandhiji, and he was the sole representative of the Congress. The conference discussed the communal questions and regarding the autonomous provinces and the federal concept, then the representation of minorities like Muslims, Sikhs, Anglo-Indians and Christians. And the conference, it didn't discuss anything about the independence or something connected with the country's benefits. It discussed the important points which were discussed in the second round table conference were the federal concept, autonomous provinces, the communal question and the representations of the communal communities or the minorities like Muslims, Sikhs, Anglo-Indians and Christians. And Gandhiji found, during this meeting, Gandhiji found that the most of them, they were discussing, the leaders were discussing and they were concerned about the seats there in the Legislative Assembly. They were not concerned about the benefits of the country or the nation, and they were not discussing anything about the independence. And their prime concern was to get the seat there in the legislature. And nobody was concerned about the matters like the question of independence, formation of a responsible government, etc. So Gandhiji was dissatisfied and he returned to India without any fruitful discussions regarding the political future of India. So the second round table conference was a failure. The reason is that Gandhiji went there to discuss about the independence or the self-government, but the leaders, those who participated there in the meeting, they were very much concerned about getting seat there in the legislature. And the matters discussed there in the second round table conference, it was not connected with the independence, but it was something about the communal problems and the seats of minorities or the autonomous power or the federal setup. Nothing was connected with the Indian independence. So Gandhiji was dissatisfied and he returned to India without gaining anything from the second round table conference. So I hope that you understood the civil disobedience movement. Under the civil disobedience movement, you have to study the two causes. First one, Simon Commission, and the second one, the demand for the Purna Swaraj. And the next point you have to study is the launch of the civil disobedience movement, that is Danti March. The civil disobedience movement launched by Danti March and by violating the SALT law. Then here you have to study about the Gandhiji-Irwin Pact, Gandhi-Irwin Pact and the agreements of Gandhi and Irwin. And as a result of Gandhi-Irwin Pact, Gandhi agreed to attend the second round table conference. As a result of Gandhi-Irwin agreement, Gandhiji agreed to attend the second round conference, but it was a failure because the leaders, those who participated in the meeting, they were not concerned about the independence of the country or self-government, but they were very much concerned about their needs, the seats there in the legislature. So Gandhiji was so much dissatisfied and he returned to India without gaining anything from the second round table conference. So you may please go through the chapter, and here you have to study only two things. The first one, non-cooperation movement, and the second one, the civil disobedience movement. Thank you. Have a nice day.